All right, I had trouble finding a fool's gold this week, but I'm gonna go with the risky one. I think this is risky because this guy can blow up anytime, and I'm going with the tight end. I'm going with Kyle Pitts. And look, Kyle Pitts has been a disappointment from the hype of that everybody had for him, right? But I think we just need to take a deep breath. We have a lot of hype around him in Dynasty. If you drafted him in Dynasty, don't worry, he's gonna have a great career. But this year has just been disappointing to the point where like nobody talked about Pat Fryermuth coming into the year, and he was the second tight end drafted in the second round by the Steelers, and to the point where it's like you might want to start Pat Fryermuth over Kyle Pitts, which is insane. So Pitts has been disappointing this year so far, like I said, but also they are playing the San Francisco 49ers this week, and in full PPR, the 49ers have been the 30th. So basically, they're third against tight ends. So tight ends are the 30th worst against them. So tight ends do not do well against the 49ers. And Kyle Pitts gets solid targets. He's getting 8, 6, 7, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 6, but he's not really, he's just getting yards with them, right? He's had one touchdown this year in week 5. So it's not like he's been killing it in the red zone. He had his one explosion game was week 7 where he had 163 yards. He hasn't really done much, and it's crazy to me because he's such a physical beast. And it's like, how is his skill set not just translating and producing yards, touchdowns, fantasy points? And it's just not happening for some reason. And couple that with the tough matchup, I actually have him and Pat Fryermuth in a league, and I'm going back and forth. I can't decide which one to start, and it's actually like it's a really tough decision. And that could be the difference between whether I win or not. And it's like I know Kyle Pitts is capable for going off for 30, but I feel confident that Pat Fryermuth is going to get me 12. So I'm torn, but all I'll say is you might have a better option at tight end than Kyle Pitts this week. What do you think, man?
Uh, on one hand, I hear you. On the other hand, as much as we talk about how running back's been a mess, tight end is still a disgusting cesspool as
That's true.
always. And if I told you that he's fifth in PPR right now, no one would believe me. I
Yeah.
didn't believe it. It's just the state of the tight end. So what I do like about him is that he's doing this type of work without touchdowns. He only has one on the year. Matt Ryan is probably fallen off more than freaking Ben Roethlisberger and Philip Rivers of last year. Side note, I think Deshaun Watson should go to Atlanta and let them have a high-powered offense if he gets back. But
That would be
I,
crazy.
if you're saying, "Hey, I'm putting 50 that Fryermuth gets a touchdown and Pitts doesn't," I wouldn't blame you. And that's what tight end at this point is. So yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who's going to bench Pitts, but hey, if you got a Fryermuth option, or you got a Schultz, or you got a Ertz, maybe.
Yeah, I just think at this point in the year, yes, tight end is disgusting, but at this point of the year, some guys have no tight ends, right? Like they're just streaming every week. And some teams you can't make trades, right? So some teams have Zach Ertz and Kyle Pitts. Some teams have Fryermuth and Pitts, Schultz and Pitts. And a lot of times you don't want to put two tight ends in your lineup. Do you go with Pitts because it's a sexy name, or do you go with a guy that maybe could perform better and has been performing better?
If I need a 25-point plus game, I go Pitts. If I need a steady, solid number, I'll probably pivot.
Nice, nice. And look, I'm a big fan of Kyle Pitts. I hope I'm wrong, but I think he's going to be a disappointment this week. So we'll see. I'm going to say under 12 fantasy points for Kyle Pitts. I think that
All
will
right.
be pretty disappointing.